Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. I, 60 female, have been helping my son, Jason, 35 male, and his new wife, Emily, 33 female, a lot over the past few months with childcare. Emily has 2 children from her previous marriage, Sarah, 6 female, and Ben, 4 male. And I've been babysitting them 5 days a week because Emily doesn't trust daycare. I love them and treat them like my own grandkids. Emily is a sweet woman, and while blending families is never easy, I've tried my best to make sure everyone feels loved and supported. Jason, my son, has a child from his first marriage, Liam, 10 male, who is my biological grandson. His mother isn't in the picture much, so Liam spends a lot of time with Jason and Emily. Liam and I are very close, and I've always done my best to make him feel like he's a key part of this blended family. Here's the issue. Emily recently planned a family trip to a beach resort. It was a special trip for them since they haven't been able to get away much lately due to work and school schedules. I found out about the trip when Emily asked if I could help watch Sarah and Ben during the week leading up to their vacation because she had a lot of packing and last-minute errands to run. Of course, I said yes. I'm always happy to help with the kids when they need me. While I was helping out one afternoon, I casually asked about Liam's packing because I knew he would be so excited about a beach trip. That's when Emily dropped the bomb. She told me, "Oh, it's just a family trip for family. Liam isn't coming. He'll be staying with his other grandparents that week." I was stunned. I asked why Liam wasn't included in this family trip. Emily explained that she wanted this to be a bonding experience for their family, meaning her, Jason, Sarah, and Ben. She went on to say that Liam would have a great time with his other grandparents and that this was a chance for her kids to feel more connected to Jason. I was flabbergasted. I love Sarah and Ben like family, though aren't my blood, but how can this woman exclude Liam? He's as much a part of this family as everyone else. Jason didn't tell me much about the trip, and I assumed it was a full family vacation. To find out Liam wasn't invited really hurt. Liam and Jason have always had a strong bond, and I can't believe Jason would be okay with this. I immediately called Jason and told him this was inappropriate. He seemed uncomfortable but told me that it was Emily's idea and that he didn't want to cause conflict by insisting Liam come along. He said Emily wanted to focus on her kids building a stronger relationship with Jason since they didn't get to spend as much time with him. He told me that it wasn't about excluding Liam and that they've already gone on so many vacations together. So he's just trying to make up for that lost experience for Sarah and Ben. So I asked if that meant Liam would be left behind during vacations for the foreseeable future. He went silent. Liam is old enough to notice when things like this happen, and I'm worried this will make him feel even more left out. He already struggles with feeling like an outsider sometimes since his dad remarried, and I feel like this trip will only reinforce that. I've always gone above and beyond to support Emily and her kids, but now I feel uncomfortable. If Liam isn't considered part of their family, then why am I treating Sarah and Ben like my own? Why am I spending 5 days a week babysitting her kids if my biological grandson isn't even part of their family vacations? So I told Emily that I would no longer be babysitting Sarah and Ben. I said, "If my grandson isn't part of your family, then why should your kids be part of mine?" She was furious. She said I was being spiteful and petty, and that I was punishing her kids for something that had nothing to do with them. Jason is caught in the middle, trying to smooth things over, but I'm standing firm. I feel like if Liam isn't considered family, then I don't need to bend over backward to help with her kids. However, I'm starting to feel a bit guilty. I love Sarah and Ben, and I don't want them to feel like I'm rejecting them. But at the same time, I feel like Emily's decision to exclude Liam was completely wrong. I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing by cutting off the babysitting or if I'm being too harsh. Do I suck for refusing to babysit my daughter-in-law's kids after she excluded my biological grandson from their family trip? Edit. Liam has a lot of extracurriculars, so he's in school in the evenings. I only babysat occasionally at first, but somehow it's switched to being full-time. I do agree that I'm being taken advantage of. If it's Liam, I wouldn't mind doing this every day. But these aren't my grandchildren. I didn't even know they existed a year ago. Update. Well, she hounded me for days and called me awful for taking a stand against my grandson being mistreated. After that, they went on the trip anyways, but the trip didn't go as smoothly as Emily had hoped. I didn't get all the details right away, but from what Jason has told me, it was a disaster. The kids were bickering the whole time, and apparently, Sarah and Ben were upset because they didn't understand why Liam wasn't there. They kept asking why he didn't come, which made things awkward and tense for the entire family. On top of that, Jason and Emily's relationship has hit a rough patch. Jason confided in me that he's been feeling resentful about how Emily handled the whole situation with Liam. He's starting to realize that excluding his son was a huge mistake. And now he's questioning Emily's priorities when it comes to their blended family. According to him, they had several arguments on the trip, and things between them are strained. Emily, on the other hand, is still furious with me for refusing to babysit. She feels like I put extra pressure on her back by backing out at the last minute. But I told her tough luck. I think she's realizing that the family dynamic is more complicated than she thought, and her attempt to make the trip about her kids and Jason without including Liam has backfired. Jason is really struggling. He's caught between trying to keep his marriage together and being a good father to Liam. He's mentioned that he and Emily are going to try marriage counseling. But honestly, it feels like the damage is done. I think he's realizing that Emily's behavior towards Liam is a bigger issue than he initially thought. I haven't resumed babysitting Sarah and Ben, and to be honest, I don't know if I ever will. I love those kids, but I can't continue to help a family that doesn't include Liam as an equal part of it. It's heartbreaking to see my son's marriage in trouble, but at the same time, I only want the best for my grandson. As for Liam, he hasn't fully grasped what happened, but I'm doing my best to make sure he feels loved and supported. He knows he was left out of the trip, but we've been spending more time together, and I'm trying to shield him from as much of the family drama as I can. I guess we'll see what happens with Jason and Emily's marriage, but for now, things are rocky. I hope they can figure things out, but if Emily can't accept Liam as part of the family, I don't see how their marriage will survive in the long run, and it shouldn't. I couldn't agree more, OP. If Emily doesn't consider Liam as part of the family, then her marriage with Jason would fall apart. Jason seems to be a good father, which is exactly why it won't work. To give it the benefit of the doubt, Emily was probably trying to figure out a way to bring her kids closer to Jason, but the way she went about it was not great. Especially telling you the trip was for family only, that's her implying she doesn't consider Liam family. I totally understand how this would alarm you, and I'm glad you're looking out for Liam. I hope Jason and Emily can sort out this issue with the help of a marriage counselor. They can still make this work if they both want to. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my employee that she should be more cheerful? I work in a warehouse as a manager. I supervise a handful of employees and we all get along. We frequently go out drinking after work, go to movies together, etc. We got a new hire and she's been with us for a few months. She does her job effectively, but she's having a seemingly hard time fitting in with the rest of the guys. I always see them all talking to each other, but she's in the background not interacting with them nearly as much unless needed for work. She also doesn't make any effort to join the team outside of work. From some things I heard, some of my employees have said she looks like she's annoyed 24/7. and doesn't convey herself as friendly. And to their credit, if you do ask her a question, she's blunt and never smiles or anything. I took her aside and told her that as a manager, I want to make the work environment as friendly and welcoming as possible. I mentioned she's doing a terrific job, but I raised the idea that she should act more cheerful. She looked surprised, and the next day, she confided to someone else in the company that she's considering quitting because of my feedback. I don't think I requested that insane, and I made sure to tell her she's an efficient employee. It's a warehouse, yes, but sometimes higher-ups walk through and I want them to see my employees working but are genuinely happy about being there. She kills the vibe. You're the a-hole OP. Not everyone can get along with strangers because that is what you all are to her, strangers. You said she's a new hire, so of course she's not involved with your other employees. Maybe she's a shy person or extremely introverted. Or maybe, just maybe, she's not interested in bonding and playing with her coworkers. I don't think that should be a problem. You saying she kills the vibe is insane. If she works effectively and is a great worker, that shouldn't matter. And you're wrong. You're making an insane request. She doesn't owe any of you guys a smile. Now for some comments. You're the a-hole. I hate jobs where they try to force you to play happy fun time with all your fellow employees. Does she do her work? Is she rude to customers? Why does she have to entertain you and the rest of the guys during her work day? Maybe she is really shy, maybe she's a huge introvert, maybe the rest of you aren't as wonderful as you think you are. Maybe she has a lot of shit going on at home. Why not mind your own business? People express themselves in different ways. Maybe she's shy and struggles to insert herself into y'all's conversations initially. Maybe she's introverted and specifically applied for a non-customer facing position so she didn't have to deal with the mental and emotional exhaustion that comes with these types of interactions. You're the a-hole. She's already doing her job effectively. You shouldn't also have to feel like she needs to do a song and dance for you and the other employees to prove that she meets your standard of cheerfulness. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for taking my Wii that my sister gave my niece without asking me first? So basically, I came down to visit my sister and found the Wii I had been looking for the last year. I bought it in 2016 for $150 at GameStop. I heard my niece talking about it and asked, "Is that my Wii?" My sister told me it was, but I couldn't take it because my niece plays with it all the time. I offered to let her buy it from me for $50. She said no, it is an old game console, so I didn't need it anyways. I bought this Wii specifically for Wii Sports and nothing else, which I played religiously. Meanwhile, my niece starts screaming, "I don't care if you paid for it, it is mine and you aren't taking my stuff." Now, if my sister or niece had just asked me if they could have it, I probably would have just said yes. The fact that nobody asked just did not sit right with me. I paid for this. I have been looking for it for over a year. So tell me, Reddit, am I the a-hole if I take my Wii back with me? Sorry for any grammar format. Update. I took the Wii and did my best to explain to my niece that I spent a lot of money on it. It was a lot for me and a lot for an 8-year-old. I tried to equate it to how she saved for her phone and how sad she would be if it was taken. This did not go well. My sister made me feel terrible about taking my Wii, and my niece screamed the entire time that I was not taking her stuff, and she again didn't care how much money I spent. Needless to say, I still kind of feel like an a-hole, but I think I did the right thing. I'll be very happy to get home so I can finally play some Wii golf. Thanks everyone for their opinions. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. The fact that they took it from you without telling you tells me that either 1. They knew they were doing something wrong so they hid it, or 2. Didn't see anything wrong with it, but it shows lack of respect by taking without even saying anything. Being family doesn't make it excusable. In fact, I think it makes it worse if she is playing that card. It was your property, and even if you weren't using it, you could have sold it for some money if you wanted to. Not the a-hole. Video games are my favorite way to relax after a long day of work or deal with stress by unplugging from reality for just a bit. I would be pissed if someone just grabbed one of my consoles and gave it away without my knowledge or permission. Old or new doesn't matter. We all have those old games we come back to, time and time again. Tell your sister to buy her daughter her own system with her money, not steal from you. Plus you offered to sell for $50. That's a deal. You tried to do the right thing.